obsessed with ancient Egypt, British archaeologists and necromancers have discovered the means to reanimate dead bodies, quickly replacing mechanical inventions with cheap, undead labor. But some fanatics plan to summon Moloch, an ancient god, and cast his burning wrath upon London. Only one thing stands in their way. The gentlemen of the Unicorn Club. Her Majesty counts on you in the campaign to thwart the cult. Rise of Moloch is a Victorian adventure board game for 2 to 5 players that takes place in an alternative England where magic and technology have taken an extraordinary turn.
Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome to our next episode of the World of Smog, Rise of Moloch. We're heading on, I believe this will be actually our 4th turn. The turns and the amount of turns don't matter in this particular scenario of the campaign. And some it does and some it doesn't. But anyway, I don't have anything to correct specifically, just need to continue on with our fun. So we're going to do that. You know, in the last episode, Abigail Sutherland got hurt. She got a leg injury. And the damsel is just down to 1 hit point. We got to get her off the board as the good guys, or we're going to lose. Conversely, the bad guy lost one of his agents, Emerson, and now it's just down to Tobias. But Tobias gets 3 actions in a turn. That's pretty good. So I think a lot of things are going to happen in this episode. Now, the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to dive right in. I'm not going to waste any time talking about all the this, that, and the preamble. But we're going to get right to the playthrough because I have other things I got to get to the table, and I want to get to them soon. So, let's get right on it and go into our order phase. Once again, minor disclaimer, for those of you who are just joining us, normally the players would actually select which order these go in on the round track board, but we are doing it at random because I'm playing both sides and that adds some randomness to it. For example, if I was actually playing the scenario as the gentleman, I would want the Marquis or somebody that can get to that zombie in front of the damsel to go first before the zombies go. And as the Nemesis player, I would like the zombies to go before first in this line because they are closest to being able to attack the damsel. But that's not the way it works. Now, even if that was the case, it's quite possible that the gentleman player is going to be able to knock out the zombie that can attack the damsel right away, because it depends on which gentleman comes up first. The only one that really would struggle in that is if it was Emma Swanson, because she's engaged with another zombie on the board. I'll give you the highlights again. In front of this door is a zombie that can attack the damsel. The point of this for the gentleman is to get the damsel to the exit. We've kind of run both ways. The zombie player, the Nemesis player, is doing a good job at blocking the escape and making it difficult for us. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, the Nemesis players also suffered quite a bit of hits. There's only the 3 zombies on the board and the agent Tobias. Tobias is pretty tough, but he's not tough enough to take them all on. So we'll see if we can get away with this. We do have enough on our summoned minions to be able to summon 2 more zombies, which we would do. And we don't have enough, though, to activate them. So let's see who goes first for the gentleman and what we can do. Now, it's in the gentleman's best interest to not spend a lot of ether right now because that would limit further the ability of the Nemesis player to fuel up their bad guys. So first up on the list is going to be the Marquis of Carabas. That's actually good for the gentleman player. Luck would have it, that's probably who I would have activated first, because he can just go 1, 2, 3 and attack the zombie right there with his whip. It's a range track attack. He could avoid it, but if he kills it, it's not going to matter. So he's going to move there for his first action. For his second action, he is going to attack the monster with his trigger ability. His trigger's 3. the whip itself gives him a +1, and he can spend an ether to knock down and disorient, but if he does enough damage, he'll just kill it. So he's going to do 4 dice to try and kill that zombie. Hopefully he succeeds, and yes, he will in a big way. So he's got 2 hits there and a crown. Now, he can choose to convert that crown into ether or a 3rd hit. If he does the 3rd hit, it automatically kills the zombie. And but he's limited on the amount of ether that he has. So I think, though, that would be the smart choice. So he will pop this zombie, and on his ability it says he's got this bloodthirst. Each time you neutralize a minion, you may heal 1 damage. So the 1 damage he has is now gone. He's perfectly healthy again, and he has neutralized the zombie that was in front of the damsel. Now that's going to end his turn. Doesn't get anything else for that. Now we move to the Nemesis player, and it's going to be Tobias. Actually, when I run into Emerson's card, we're going to have to slide the other one to the left because I forgot to take his card out of there. So Tobias Tobias is going next, excuse me, and he is going to summon some minions, but I think he might actually move first. We've got to get a point of damage on the damsel, so let's take a look at what he's going to do. Tobias is not a range guy, he is a melee guy. Now he gets 3 actions this turn though, so what we can do is go 1, 2, 3 to there, 1, 2, 3 to there, and attack the damsel with his 3rd and final action. Now why does he get an action? Because of this. If Emerson is dead, Tobias gets +1 action, and that's what we're doing. So he's only going to get 1 attack on the damsel, but it's enough. If he gets her, that's the end of the scenario, and the bad guy's won. So he has a 5 attack. He doesn't have any ether, so he can't boost it at all, but he's got his punch is 5, and he's going to attack her with that. He can't do anything else but attack, so he's going to give it his go. And what does he get? Oh, what a terrible, terrible roll for him. This has happened to me with the Nemesis a couple of times. 0 hits on all the dice. No chance of getting her. However, that's not where his turn's ending. So he runs up and he hits. We're also going to use one of the Nemesis powers this turn. We can use 1 on any activation or all of them on a Chaos activation. He's going to spawn up to 2 minions adjacent to an agent. That is going to cost the 2 ether that is on it. And we are going to have 2 zombies. We're going to put 1 here and 1 here. Now that's going to, now when the zombies actually activate, that's going to give them a chance to go if they get it, if they live long enough to do that. So we're still in it, but what a terrible, terrible roll. I mean, she gets 4 dice, but it doesn't really matter. I can't, even if there's no hits, so it doesn't matter. She would have blocked 3 of them anyway. So the damsel is hanging in there. Okay, that is going to be Tobias's full turn. So next we have another one of the gentlemen. Let's see who it is. It is going to be actually Abigail Sutherland. Well, that's interesting because she is pretty far away from the action. She does have her harpoon. Oh, here's what she can do. This will help quite a bit. Yeah, she is going to attack. She's got to get within range. 1, 2, 3, 4. So she's going to have to move 1. She's going to attack that zombie with the harpoon. Now her trigger's lower, it's only 1, but this gives her a +1, and she is of course continuing to fuel her Arcanist channel spirits. The Nemesis player is going to put that 1 point on command minion, because if I get an extra chance to command a couple minions, I can try and take out the damsel. Then she is going to spend another ether on the harpoon, so she's going to get 1 back. And the 1 is going to go to the bad guy. I think what he is going to do is, Tobias had a charge ability. I should have kept that in mind, but it didn't matter. It would have ended the same anyway. No, he would have gotten 2 hits when he moved up, but he couldn't move up enough. And he didn't have any ether. He needed ether to spend. So we're going to, just in case, we're going to give this next ether to Tobias so he can fuel up his charge ability if he needs to. Okay, now Emma is then going to attack with the harpoon, so she's going to spend another point to pull the target. If we get a plus attack, it's going to pull the target to her. Now, this one is going to go on the instill chaos card, since we need to. Actually, no, I'm going to put it on summon minions. In case if someone spends another one, the Nemesis will be able to summon a minion. 2 more minions. Okay, well, let's do the attack. So that is going to be for Emma. That is going to be a total of 3 dice on the zombie. That's not terrible. Not great. Oh, sorry, 4. No, it's not. She just gets a higher agility from her Fuel Spirits ability. So let's see. Wow, so she got 2 crowns. Those do count as 2 hits. She's going to use them both as hits. And then the zombie is going to get to defend. Now, neither of them were plus hits, so the harpoon did not go. The zombie has 2 defense agility, so the defense dice. Let's see what he gets. He actually did not block any of them. He has no line of sight, so he is killed regardless. So even though she didn't get to pull him, she did do him in, and that was her second action. So that's going to be it for Emma Swanson, or sorry, Abigail Sutherland. She did her thing with her spirit harpoon. And now we're going to get to take the next Nemesis player action. Still, right up to the end, anybody's game. Let's see who gets to go. It's Chaos event. Okay, so that's not terrible for us. We can't create any new minions right now because we don't have enough ether on the summon minions, but we can do command minions. So we're going to spend that, and we're going to command our minions because, well, that's going to at least allow us to do some attacking. Unfortunately, we can't move these 2 guys because they take damage, but we can move him. He'll go 1, 2, 3, and then he'll attack. Now, since they're both there, that means that I'm still confused on this one. The group thing that they get to attack with, it says, group attack. For the same target, each additional ally minion plus 2 dice. I think that means they both have to be able to attack, and this one can't. It just ran up to do stuff, right? So this one, though, will be able to attack the Marquis. The Marquis is no longer injured, so it's not going to do a whole heck of a lot, unfortunately. So you know what? We're going to leave this one here. I'm not going to move that one. I'm going to attack Abigail. Sorry, not Abigail. Emma over here with one of them, and because she's fully healed now too, because she did a rest and did some other stuff to heal up. Well, we'll just attack the Marquis with one of the zombies and see what we can get done. That zombie is going to it's going to be a 2 hit. Now if it does get a hit plus, or sorry, 3, gets 3 dice because the zombies have a punch of 3. Let's see if it can do anything. Well, it got 2 hits and one of them is a plus. So the Marquis has 1 ether. He can evade. He does have the ability to evade. I think he's just going to take it because he doesn't need to worry about the damage. So it's going to be 3 agility dice. Let's see if he can avoid the 2 hits. Of course, if he fails, he is knocked down. And he did not fail. He got 1 hit. He blocked 1, so he did fail. He's going to take 1 hit, the Marquis, and he's knocked down. I don't know what that would have done had that other zombie been able to move. If there was another zombie there, I don't think he would be able to do the 1 point of damage to it. Anyway, that is that zombie. So now we're going to go to this one. It's going to attack Emma with 3 dice. So let's see what it can do. It hit once. So Emma's just going to try and block it. She's not going to do anything special. She has a 3 agility, so she's going to try and block it. And she failed, so she takes a point of damage. It was not a hit plus, so it's just a point of damage. And that is going to be... Now she only has 1 on her out of the 6 that she... or 5 that she can take. So she's okay. That was the end of the chaos round for our villain. That wasn't great. Wish it was better, but it is what it is. Okay, well, that's the end of that. Let's move on to the next activation for the gentleman. Unicorn Club is not having a bad showing. They definitely showed up, and Cavendish, Walther Cavendish is going next. He's awesome. What's he going to do? If he attacks Tobias, from there, Tobias will have cover because the damsel's in the way, and the Marquis is in the way. So, but I think that's what he's going to do, so he can get at least 2 attacks on Tobias. Maybe do something good to him. I do think he's going to spend 1 point for Dynamo, which is a bonus. Oh, sorry, no, he doesn't need to spend a point for that. He can spend a point on this. That'll give him +2 to the hit, to the attack dice, which would give him a 3, 4, 5, 6 dice. That's pretty good. So he is going to spend 1 of his ether on that. We're going to put, the Nemesis will put that on summon minions, and he's going to attack Tobias with 6 dice. Pretty effective. Is he within range, actually? 1, 2, 3, 4. He is, but remember that the umbrellas count as defense when Tobias rolls. So what did he get? Well, he got only one hit on Tobias. That's a pretty bad start. And so Tobias, who's got, let me see, he's got 3 defense dice. He's just going to defend against that, and maybe only take the 1 hit, or not at all. And he didn't. He would have defended against 3 hits, so that attack goes by the wayside. I think Walter will do that again, but this time he'll spend another point. I know this is dangerous, but he's going to spend another point to gain. Oh, he should be taking damage for that as well. So he now has. Oh, he is not going to spend that point. He does not want to take another point of damage. But what he can do, spend a point on the Tesla gloves to give him this. So he'll do that. We'll put this on command minions over on the. No, we're going to put this on Tobias so Tobias can get his attack heal. Okay, so Tobias has 2 Aether on him now. But he can do this. So he did this. This will give him a plus 3, so he's got a 3 already on trigger. It'll give him a 4, and then he spent 1 here for 5, and the spread ability, so it will also attack the zombie. That's pretty good. Okay, let's do that. He's going to zap Tobias. Let's see if he does better this time. He got 2 crowns. Those count as 2 hits, or he can do a hit in ether. I think he'll do the 2 hits on Tobias. Tobias is also not going to do anything special to defend, even though he could. He's just going to try and roll and see if he can deflect at least one of the 2 hits. He deflected 1 of them, so he took another point of damage. He's kind of hurt, but we're hoping that he's going to heal when he attacks. That's the theory. And he's not going to attack anytime soon because he already went. And then the attack on the zombie is also going to be 5 dice. There it is. Because of the spread attack. And wow, the zombie has no way to defend against that unless Walter gets some ether back. I think we're going to take a chance. Walter's going to get 2 ether for the crown. And that means there's 2 hits on the zombie. That means if the zombie does defend, it's still alive. Or it has to defend against 2, though. It only takes 1 hit. So let's see if it can do that. It does have cover. And it only defended against 1, so this zombie is gone. Okay, well, Tobias is still there, though. So, still not a great place for the heroes. We're trying to put Tobias down. He's only got 4 out of his 12 health on him. He's still doing okay. Alright, let's move on to the next, the bad guys. This is actually minions, so we're going to see what we can do here. Yeah, Tobias... I'm sorry, I did that backwards, didn't I? That was Emerson. So we went like this, actually. This will be... Sorry, I messed that up because I forgot to take his card out. And when I saw the enemy card, I just assumed it was him. But it actually wasn't. It's okay. We're still good. And now the minions are going to go. Of course, before we do that, we are going to summon 2 minions adjacent to Tobias using the summon minion thing, and then they're all going to get to go. So there's his 2 ether. Here are 2 zombies. We'll put 1 there, 1 there. Then they get to go. This one will move 1, 2, 3 to get around there. He can't attack though. This one will attack the damsel. That's the important one. 3 dice against the damsel. Let's see if we can do anything. Well, he got 2 hits on her. Crown is a hit for the bad guys, so we got 2 hits. Now, she has an agility of 4, so if she can block those 2 hits, she lives. If she fails, she's done. That's the end of the scenario. Actually, this is cock, so I'll re-roll it. Oh, Crown, nope, doesn't help her. She only blocked 1. Well, guess what, guys? That means that the Nemesis put down the damsel with a zombie. So that was man, that was pretty close. So, guys, I think I'm going to look up the scenario. I think that ends the scenario. If the damsel is neutralized, and she just was, the Nemesis wins. So the damsel was trying to scurry around the board, keeping out of the way of the bad guys, but the Nemesis brought her down and neutralized her. I notice they don't say kill. I kind of like that. I mean, you want to kill some poor woman. But she's been eliminated. And that means the Nemesis wins. So we have some scenario wrap-up to do with this. Okay, so they did not rescue the damsel. So the first thing is, did the gentleman win? No. Okay, this is for the campaign. Gentleman obtained, so no. Did the Nemesis win? Yes, the Nemesis obtains a random Moloch Stone card. We'll get those out in a moment. Actually, let's do it now. Here are the Moloch Stone cards. Now, there's the ally could have gotten one too, but they didn't. The gentleman, rather. So we're going to shuffle those up real quick, and we're going to draw one and see what they get. So they get a new power Moloch Stone bonus, starting ether of 3. So they're going to start the next scenario with an additional 3 ether. That's pretty good. They get to do some cool stuff with that, and that is the Moloch Stone for them. Now, we go on to the next part, where all the Bobbies neutralized. Yes, Chaos courses through the streets. Next chapter, the Nemesis starts with 4 Chaos cards instead of 2. Pretty good. Were Tobias or Emerson neutralized? Yes. The body was never found. Next chapter, the formerly slain agent counts as a zombie and may perform only one activation in this way. So that is how the scenario ends. The damsel gets knocked down. There's chaos in the streets because the Bobbies were taken out from the precinct. The storm is causing havoc. Tobias somehow got Emerson's body away from the bad guys. And that's the way that it's going to go. So, how did we do? Well, I think it's interesting. I do think this game must be played with multiple players at this point in time. While I think I try to make it as entertaining and interesting as possible, it is designed to have a strategy around the 2 players interacting in relative secrecy. And that, I think, has a big play on the game. So, I'm going to say it was fun, and I definitely can't wait to play it with my gaming group, my family, but it definitely is a game that needs to be played with others. Until Simon gets her act together and puts out an app or something like Fantasy Flight has done and give some life to these games as co-op and solo type games. Because I can tell you, I know they sold plenty of these games, but if they would just do that, the legs on these games would go so much farther, just like Mansions of Madness. I think it revitalized Mansions of Madness and Descent in a big way to include the app storyline so people can play cooperatively with each other. Made a huge deal for those games, especially for me, Mansions of Madness. It made it it put it from one of my top 100 to one of my top 10 games as a result of the storylines that are going around with it. Because I love storytelling games. This is a good one of those if someone's willing to be the bad guy, and I'm willing to do that when I play. That's okay, but really this is the way it's designed to play. So, if we were to continue on the next scenario, we would have the bad guy would have some significant advantages, except for the fact that Emerson would come back as a zombie Emerson, and even though he'd have all of his abilities and everything, he'd only get 1 action. That's pretty bad. So it would impede me that way as the Nemesis player. Now, the gentleman himself really didn't get any impediments, but there were just bonuses that went to the bad guys as a result of them winning the scenario. And the scenario continues on. I think I haven't read further. I don't know if that branching will make a difference or not in the gameplay, but it might. And so, guys, we're going to end this here. I want to thank you for watching and subscribing and all that good stuff. I really do appreciate it. And we'll talk to you in the next episode of something. We'll see what it is. I have a whole shelf full of things. A lot of them I still need to get to the table. I'm just one guy with one big table. Sometimes I have 2. So we'll get to it, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this little kind of like demo game of Rise of Moloch. It gave you a feel for how the game plays and gives you an understanding of how the interaction goes back and forth. I do think with 2 players it would be a much more interesting game to play. It's hard not to, when you kind of predict what's going on, it's hard not to take advantage of that as a player. So thanks again. I'll talk to you in the next episode of something, and see you soon.